This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sean Preston.
Welcome to today's episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today we have a good neighbor with us. His name is Humberto from Kumon, the math genius whiz himself, teacher and educator. What's going on, my man?
Awesome, man. Everything's great. Wonderful. How about yourself, Sean?
No, having a great time. I always love Mondays and Tuesdays, the days we get to have business owners on the show, and it's nothing but packed days of just awesome conversations. So really happy for coming on the show. Thanks for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So when I was in school, I'm going to be very straight up. Mathematics was not my thing. I wish now that my parents put me and forced me to go into Kumon, understanding the importance of that particular skill in life. We use it every single day. But for people who don't know, maybe tell us a little bit more about your business.
Okay, well, like you were saying, I own the Kumon Center. One of them here. There's three of them here in Barrie. I'm the one at the Galaxy Theater here in Barrie, near on Mapleview here, just behind Walmart. And we're Kumon Center. I mean, we're saying math, but we're more than that. We're a math and reading center here, right? So we specialize in after-school classes, right? And then we also empower children. So basically what we do is we empower them how to be independent learners, right? So I'm teaching them how, it's not just about the subject. We're trying to get the kids to learn how to teach themselves, if that makes sense, right? So, I mean, Kumon's huge. We're largest after-school math and reading program here, right? And and even though we're under the tutoring label, we're not really tutoring. We're more like Kumon helps kids to learn on their own, like I was saying. So it's basically we're developing strong academic skills. So there's a lot more to Kumon than just tutoring, right? So that's basically what we do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's such an important piece to the equation as we bring in the next generation after generation of those young minds. Mm-hmm. And everybody has a different way of learning. So being able to teach them what that learning style is for themselves and how to take full advantage of that, that's a really important thing.
It is. Kumon's methodology. I mean, we use worksheets is what we use to help the kids, right? So, I mean, they've been crafted with, just on purpose and just with different, crafted for the children to learn on their own. So basically, for children to study beyond their grade level is what I'm trying to say. So right. So it's not just about getting to grade level. Most of my kids that have been here for, about a year or so and over, they're achieving, a 1 year, 2 year above grade level, and that's what we want to do. Just bump up the confidence too, right? You get different, you're also improving we're improving the Barrie area too. The kids get smarter. You get, you got better children, better adults and just smarter adults. Just different. That's, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, because I mean, it translates beyond that. I mean, just take the reading skill, right?
Absolutely.
You have a kid who comes in and is not the best reader, but learns and develops on how to up those reading skills, not only ups it to a higher grade level, continues to stay with you throughout the course, and then decides he wants to be a business owner, opens up his own electrical company.
Absolutely.
Like crazy, right?
There's more to it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So it's really cool, what you do for a living, because those after effects, like that's got to be pretty rewarding stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's the rewarding part, right? I mean, I started this how did I get into this? Well, because of my son. Like back in the day, we were looking when he was 3 years. He's now 21, but he was 3 years old. We're looking for something for him, right? So after witnessing his progress, that's kind of what sparked my passion. Me and my wife, and we just kind of bought our own Kumon Center because of that whole thing, right? So, not just that too. I also, the loss of my daughter became kind of an ultimate challenge for me. So kind of the hardship going through that kind of stuff too, kind of motivated me to help other kids. So
that's pretty cool. Let's unpack that a little bit. Let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So that's like the surface level stuff, and maybe give us a little bit more detail to the listeners on that journey, and a little bit more on how and why you got
it. I think like I was saying, right, we were looking for something for my son, and he started young. He started improving. After about two years, he's like a year, 2 years above grade level. I'm not having to, do stuff with him at home because he brings classwork. He's able to do it on his own. So kind of, opens up other windows. We were into soccer a lot. I'm Portuguese, European, so we're into this whole soccer thing. So we were doing a lot of sports, and and kind of opened up the opportunity for him not to worry too much because he was so good in school. We were happy with his progress, so I was able to kind of, okay, so you need to leave early. Oh, that's okay, or that kind of thing, right? We kind of took some times off. We did some traveling, and it just opened up a lot of different windows. Because of his progress and his confidence and just kind of what he was doing in school. So that whole thing sparked, like I said, sparked my intuition, and kind of I saw the opportunity of the Kumon franchise, and I jumped on board, and then doing that to other kids and trying to kind of get that to other parents' heads that, there's an opportunity here too. We're helping our kids, but there's more to it than that, right? So that's kind of what happened. And then it's just helping kids, really, it's awesome. And then you see the progress, and you see them now I have parents coming here they were in Kumon, it's weird. so you see their success, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool how it just keeps going around in that nice little circle. Right?
Yeah, I'm at that situation where I'm feeling old now, seeing my students come here with their young kids, right?
Oh, when you do something for long enough, that's got to be another good feeling. You're probably feeling
it
good
absolutely
about,
is. For sure. You see, it's so interesting to see what they're doing now with their lives after all this time, and they did Kumon, and now they acknowledge, okay, I did not like it, but it did help, that kind of thing. At the time, that's what you hear all the time. They weren't happy with it, but that's what I tell parents when they come. They're gonna love it when they start, but it is work. But you know what? If we can stick to it, and because it is a lifestyle, we have to create this habit, right? So it's just a matter of getting that instilled, and then they see the progress. If we can get parents to stick for at least a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years, then they see the progress, and the kids really understand later when they're adults that it really helped.
No, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. So are there any, actually, before I go into my next question, I want to ask, so your son is 21 now.
Yeah.
What's he up to?
He's finishing university. He's getting double degree at, down in Waterloo. And right now he's actually in Chicago working, doing his last co-op for an insurance company. He's happy, really. He's doing really well. He's just going. So he's also working on his actuary. So they have to do a whole bunch of tests. So he's halfway through that. So yeah, we're excited for him. He's great kid, and this had a lot to do. Even though so he'll say yes, this helped, but he's like yeah, whatever, with that whole thing. But he says it. If it wasn't for Kumon, because just instill that all the basics, because the basics are so important, right? It's not even the high level stuff. It's if you can learn the basics, then it just makes you a stronger student, because you got the skills to teach yourself. Learning from examples is what we do here. I don't hold anybody's hand. You have a question, I teach you how to look at an example and do it and try it yourself, and then kind of see the gears turning. So it's more than teaching here. We're more of teaching you to learn, right? That's kind of what we do. Very
cool. What's an actuary?
Actuary is basically for using percentages and it's very complex stuff. It's way over my head too. But he's mathematical. He's a math genius, and he's in math and business right now, right? So actuary will kind of decide what the percentages will be for interest rates coming forward, and kind of go through all these methods. Wow. And kind of go through a lot of numbers involved. So
are there any misconceptions or misnomers, any myths in your world?
Well, the main one is everybody says we're just merely tutoring, right? And the reality is we're more than that. Like you keep saying, we're self-learning. I'm going to keep saying this, right? We want to teach students how to learn on their own. So that's the whole thing. So we're not tutoring. So the biggest misconception is that, right? So basically that's my only kind of thing that I wanted to kind of hit home, is that we're not just tutoring. Even though we're labeled under tutoring, we're more than that. We're more of a lifestyle, if that makes sense.
Well, happy to get that one out. Speaking of lifestyle, I keep saying it on the show, there's a little thing I like to call a work-life balance.
Yeah.
And as business owners, sometimes we can really dive into what we do, because when you're passionate about something, you're never really working. You're just doing.
Doing, yeah, just following
right?
your
You're doing it. It doesn't feel like, I don't get the Sunday scaries, right?
yeah.
People get the Sunday scaries. They work for that corporation. They just work a job. They're an employee. You get the Sunday scaries. We don't get the Sunday scaries.
No, it is a wonderful feeling actually, as a business owner, to kind of just be open to, you're doing, like you said, we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing. And so when
We're
you're
working
not,
hard, that's for sure.
when you're not doing in your business,
Yeah.
what do you like to do for fun, man?
Who do I like to do for fun? I'm a musician. I play in a Portuguese band, so that's kind of what grounds me.
Okay.
So I play in a Portuguese band. We're called Mesh Mesh, and we do Latin Portuguese music and stuff, socials, stuff like that. I also like producing, so I have some tunes and I do things like that. Mostly Portuguese stuff. So like I actually did a song for like I said, my daughter who passed away, and we called it Anjinho no Céu, which means what does that actually mean? It means angel in the sky. It just kind of sounds weird in English, but it's just about an angel. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's on Spotify and everything. That's exciting. So
okay, very
so yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a weekend thing, right? We get out, we do our gigs, and it's every time I'm on stage, it's kind of it grounds me, brings me back to reality, right? And then you come back home and do your thing.
Yeah. So are you playing around? Like, do you go all the way down to Toronto to play? Or you normally stick up here in Simcoe County? Like, where do you bounce?
Oh no, I don't even play up here. I'm in Toronto, Mississauga. We travel. We've done Bermuda. We've done Portugal. We've done all sorts of different areas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been around I've been around since I was 16, man. So I'm not gonna tell you my age because. Yeah, I'm an old man, and yeah, it's been a long time. I tried to give it up, but I can't. It's like I said, music. It just grounds you. Right now, I'm focusing a lot on just doing some stuff at the studio at home and just kind of that kind of thing. Working with my singer and helping him out with his album. Yeah, good times.
Nice. I inherited a 17-year-old daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and my girlfriend's daughter, and both Julie and Chanel are really gifted musically. So like they can just remember words. We're sitting there at the dinner table, and anything like 80s and 90s rap, every single song, like Julie somehow knows the lyrics to all of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not that good. I do more. Yeah, musical. I'm more musical.
So they're both singers too, right? They both like to sing, but like me, I am just, my youngest sister is very gifted with music. It just, that side of the brain for me, it just doesn't work. So I don't really fit in, when it comes to that stuff, but you give me a little liquid courage. I'll belt out a couple Disney tunes.
Yeah, man, you should do it. You should practice in the shower. You'll be fine.
Love it. Okay, so maybe we'll switch gears here.
Yeah,
you briefly mentioned it, so I'm wondering if this is going to be it. But life's not perfect. We get thrown curveballs in our life. People go through hardships and challenges all the time. Have you ever had a hardship or a life challenge that happened to you that maybe you overcame it? Maybe that experience helped you become a better person. Maybe it made you stronger for it.
Yeah, it's not really overcoming it because I don't think you can ever overcome something like death, for example, like my daughter, right? She passed away, and that's kind of transformed me. Just going through that whole grief process, right. It was tough. It was a while back now, where it's all good, but it still turns you into you become a different person. You kind of you get a deeper purpose, that kind of thing. Just so it kind of really pushed me to just make a more positive impact, especially in the young kids. So yeah, that's another reason why I stick around. Like I was telling the last time we talked that I was thinking of selling, right? And but no, I know I'm here for another 5 years and excited to do it. It's really fun. The hardest thing is dealing with the politics, sometimes. But that experience is what really, that was huge. That made me a stronger, more empathetic kind of.
Was it like a sudden thing or?
It was, it was, but don't like to get too much into it. But yeah, it's kind of what really.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey,
it makes reality, right? It's just kind of brings you back down to earth and says, hey, life's short. So, help out, do something positive and, just kind of see if you can make a difference. That's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, no, I'm with somebody who had a pretty good scare with her health, and you start living for other things when you start taking some of this stuff for granted until that really does happen. You're just kind of going through the motions versus, taking time to look around at the scenery as you're going through the motions.
Absolutely. And you forget, you're not the only one that go through this stuff, right? Even though what happens to us personally, you think at the time, you think it's, why me, that kind of thing, right? But it happens to a lot of us, and that's over the years, you kind of find out, oh, that happened to you too. And that happened to kind of similar. So you kind of, like I said, it grounds you, turns you into a different person for sure. So it's,
and that judging a book by its cover, man, people go through the motions and they don't know. People make assumptions on whatever. And I had somebody on the show who, answered that question I just asked you, answered it in a very different way where I would have never thought. So, I took that opportunity to speak up about it and say, people do this. They go through experiences in life, but you would never know on the surface level.
Exactly. You never know. So never read a book by its cover for sure.
What's one thing that you wish people knew about your business?
Well, it's not just about academic achievements. It's, it's more of nurturing lifelong learners kind of thing, basically, because, just knowing that Kumon's more, we're here, our students gain the skills to extend the class, and that extend in the classroom also, and it empowers them to excel in various aspects of life, not just the one aspect. So,
yeah, it's much more than just, learning. It's self-discovery on how you learn, developing not only the basic skills, but I would call it essential life skills. I mean,
absolutely,
learning it extends way beyond just, grade 12 university. You're learning every single day. It's not a process. You can choose to stop learning, but the best people that are out there are lifelong learners. The more you know, the better you're able to navigate through life.
Yeah, even though we're doing math and reading here, the skills that we learn, we can apply to life in general. You have a problem, how do you face it? You look at other people's examples and you learn from them, right? Kind of, instead of going through it, you're going through it yourself, but that you learn from examples. It's life. It's how we need to deal with stuff, instead of worrying, and you just kind of learn, and just kind of, if you can live life like that. And that's why I'm so focused on teaching the kids to learn on their own, because they become different adults, and you see it, right?
That's really cool. I would imagine COVID, well, we know COVID had a severe impact, not only on children's mental health in school, but it also had an impact in their learning abilities. It set a lot of people behind. How have you noticed a difference between your students who came be able to tell you, obviously you had to go through your own challenges with that as well too, but those who were able to attend you, do you notice a difference in them versus others who maybe didn't have that kind of experience?
Yeah, it's a personality thing. I mean, there's a lot of kids that went through this COVID system, and it's not the school's fault. Stuff happened. We all had to close, but there's a lot of necessity for a program, other stuff, and if not Kumon, others. Just because we have COVID really affected. I don't like to go too much into that stuff, but it really did played a huge role on our kids right now. So that's another way that what really helped me with this whole thing was I got my license for something called Kumon Connect. So we also have Kumon's always been worksheet based, paper based.
Yeah.
And now I got my license about a few months ago now, almost half a year now. But for Kumon Connect is basically online. The worksheets online, basically. So we have a digital version of Kumon now. That's another thing that I wanted to, from the previous question, just to kind of let people know about the business, is that it's not, if you can't make it to class all the time, it's okay nowadays. And we got technology, right? So everything's on Kumon. It's called Kumon Connect. Look it up. It's a tablet solution, right? And students access it online, and it offers, basically, it's convenient, portable. They have their own device, right? And they can use it. I just offer them a password and an ID. I grade things daily. They get to do corrections. That's another way to learn, is through corrections and fixing your mistakes. And and just their parents can see the real-time progress online. It's pretty cool, pretty nifty.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And so if anybody was interested in wanting to reach out to you to get their kids to start participating in such an excellent and wonderful program, what would be the best ways that they could reach out to you?
Well, you could just go online, search for Barrie Mapleview Kumon, or just Kumon in general here in Barrie. There's, like I said, there's 3 of us. But I'm here at the Galaxy Theater Plaza. You can search up just Kumon.com, get some information there. Also, we're on Facebook. We're all over the place. So, just kind of search us up. My number, is on there too. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Just kind of look us up. Like I said, Barrie Mapleview Kumon. We're here if you have any questions.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Humberto, so much for coming on the show. Great conversation. You've got a great business there helping us shape the minds of those young ones and giving them essential life tools that last not just beyond their high school and into university or college, but well beyond that as well too. So thanks a lot for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again, man.
Okay, no worries, man.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com or call 705-413-3775.